Hello, it's great to have you with us for another Explore Tulsa. This week we start the show meeting the local stars of The Outsiders.
Then we meet the man behind the documentary, The Outsiders, The Tulsa Connection.
Followed by the Goodwill you may not know.
Plus the latest in dancewear from Black and Pink.
Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. It's good to have you here once again for this week's Explore Tulsa. Stevie, why are you dressed like that?
Well, I was thinking about being a greaser. You know, like in the movie The Outsiders.
You look a little more like Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley.
Either way, March 25th marks the 30th anniversary of The Outsiders' theatrical release.
And not only is the movie a cult classic, it has a very special place in Tulsa history as well.
That's right, Trish. It was written by Tulsan Susie Hinton. And the film, all filmed right here in Tulsa.
So we decided to catch up with some of the Tulsans who helped make this cinematic classic.
I saw it in the Tulsa World. They had a little ad in there. It said, anybody that owns a 1963 or older car, send in photos of your car. So I had a 1960 Corvette, and I sent in pictures of it. They accepted the card, and then I don't know if they asked me or sent me a letter, whatever, they wanted me to be an extra. So I ended up being an extra for, I think, 3 days, and they used the car for 2 days.
They told me to be at the intersection of 11th and Denver. So I drove, that was on a Saturday morning to be there. And so I drove my car. I had a 60 Chevy red Impala. So they used it in that opening scene. It was the original opening scene of the 83 version. Then we drove over to the Pines restaurant on East Pine Street, and I was in that scene too. So I took my camera with me every time I was on the sets, and I took pictures, and I was never denied permission to shoot. I pretty much had free range of shooting. I even would go into the makeup trailer when it was downtown, when they were doing some shooting downtown around Brady District, and that was the motorcycle cop scene there. And I went inside the trailer, makeup trailer, and I shot some pictures in there. And I got some pretty good shots there.
I became one of the Socs in the fight scene. I guess I was 19 at the time, and this is the biggest thing that's ever happened to you in your life. So you're literally, waiting by the phone and planning the rest of your life. How's this one role gonna change my life? Oh my gosh, And it was great because you got to really sort of dream big, and being on the set, you really did. It was very inclusive. Joey Clem said, it was an open set. Everybody got to hang out and watch what was going on. Francis was very innovative in the way that he filmed, because he had a screen right there, and he would play it back right after the scene and have the actors look at it, and if they didn't like what they saw, they'd reshoot it. And he did video at the same time, which nobody was doing at that time.
So he came in and had us all sit in little circles, and he told the stories. He said, I want to see you laugh, I want to see you cry, I want to see if you get scared. And so when the appropriate times come, we would all get our scared face on and we'd do our cry. And he picked several ones then to be in it. And so we were all excited that I got to be one of the ones chosen, and when he saw me crying, I guess he thought I was just an awesome crier and natural, and so that's how I got for that part of it.
My dad was in the movie. He was a greaser in the rumble scene. It's kind of cool because he was standing behind Patrick Swayze, and so that was really neat for me. Just growing up, every year in school I couldn't get away from it, so.
I did a knife fight scene at the Pines Drive-In. I was the greaser that beat him up, and we did a little knife fight there, and ended up being in the opening scene of the movie.
We went down to Lowell, and we signed up for it, and they called us about 3 days later and said they was going to cut our hair and slick it back to be there at 9 o'clock. We get there and they shave his head. I said, you ain't cutting my hair. I walked out and I had them all chasing me, and they said, you're going to regret it, and I said, don't care. So my mom finally talked me into it.
Man, we sure was popular in school that year. I mean, it was pretty cool. I mean, we was in school, and they had the PA systems back then, and they said, we got 2 movie stars here, and Billy and Chris Wagner, and I mean, the girls was a magnet. I mean, it was a good deal after that.
Yeah, you touch Matt Dillon, this type deal, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the scene that originally set up the whole premise for the gang war. Was the Socs were harassing Pony Boy, and then I jumped him We chased him around for a while, and then I jumped him and pulled out a switchblade and cut off some of his hair, and then gave him a little nick on the neck just to kind of remind him that who ran the neighborhood.
Basically, it's Matt Dillon and I believe Ralph Macchio walking across the parking lot of the Pines restaurant, and they suddenly discover that a fight is breaking out. And the part that I was somewhat featured in was I was supposedly working on the back axle of my Triumph, tightening down a bolt, and myself and a bunch of other bikers turn around and we kind of made a semicircle around the fight so that nobody got to run.
A stand-in is a piece of human furniture. And so I would do like sit in this chair and for the day, and then at some point when they were ready to roll, I would get out of the chair and the actors would come in and shoot for 30 seconds, and then I'd go back to sitting in the chair.
You know, I met a lot of those guys before you even knew who they were, because at that time, probably Ralph and Diane and Matt Dillon were probably the only ones that were like movie people that you would recognize or had any credentials.
It is great that they all went on to be working names in the business, and it was exciting. And to be honest, all of those guys, when they showed up, I didn't know who any of them were.
You know, being as actors, like everybody said, Matt Dillon at the time was probably him and Ralph Macchio, but I mean, you'd think they's your friends, you've been friends with them forever. I've never seen the bad side of none of them.
I wouldn't have known any of them because this was their first movie. As far as I know, you know, Ralph Macchio got famous, and a year later he did The Karate Kid, but I didn't know any of them.
Just to see kids at now, 30 years later, still get excited about this movie is really cool, and knowing that I was a part of it is really neat.
You know, we all have this bond between us. You know, we participated in a movie that's become a cult classic, so it's really fun to get together and show our pictures to each other, and it's just great. It's like a little brotherhood we have with each other.
You understand, Tulsa's the biggest small town out there, and when the movies came to Tulsa, everybody wanted to be in it. It was really exciting.
Those guys shared some amazing stories with us. You know, Trish, Susie Hinton was only 15 and a student at Rogers High when she began writing The Outsiders.
And she was a student at the University of Tulsa when the book was first published and grew in its popularity.
Plus, Francis Ford Coppola decided to make the movie because 7th and 8th grade students from the Lone Star School in Fresno, California wrote him a letter asking him to make the movie about the book they loved so much.
So next we learn even more about The Outsiders when we meet film documentary director James Clark, just ahead with more Explore Tulsa.
I'm carbon dating this carpet.
When you visit Video Revolution at 71st and Lewis, you won't find a bunch of money spent on fancy extras. That way Video Rev can pass huge savings to customers every day.
Like the Samsung 46-inch LED 1080p smart TV for only $649.
Or this Sony 55-inch 1080p LED with built-in Wi-Fi and 3D ready for only $14.99.
So bring in your dinosaur and trade up today.
Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
For a taste of Italy in Tulsa, may we recommend Ti Amo. For 20 years, Tulsa diners have come to Ti Amo for the very best in authentic Italian and Mediterranean dishes. With a dining room perfectly suited for single diners or groups and an incomparable menu, it's easy to see why Ti Amo has been voted best Italian restaurant in Tulsa. Ti Amo now with 2 locations, 61st and Sheridan, and our new downtown location on the northeast corner of 3rd and Cheyenne. Ti Amo, fine dining at an affordable price.
It's good to have you back with us for more Explore Tulsa and our special segment celebrating the 30th anniversary of The Outsiders.
So many big stars cut their teeth with this movie. Matt Dillon, Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, Ralph Macchio.
C. Thomas Howell, Diane Lane, Emilio Estevez, and my favorite, Tom Cruise.
Actually, Tom Cruise cut more than his teeth. He actually got one knocked out during the big fight scene.
That fight scene meant so much to so many Tulsans.
All great memories that will live forever in James Clark's documentary, The Outsiders, the Tulsa Connection.
It started back in 2005. The Outsiders complete novel premiere came to Tulsa, and some of us got tickets to go to the premiere and the reception. And I started meeting some of the people that were the greasers and socias, and they had all these great stories. And I started to think, you know, it'd be great to do like a little documentary on their experiences, kind of the Tulsa connection to the outsiders. What happened was, some of the people that I was talking to said, well, I know so-and-so, and, you know, a friend of a friend was in the scene, and, you know, it just kind of escalated from there. Some of the people were really hard to find. So we managed to get a hold of some of these people a lot through Facebook and the internet. Well, it really captures their stories and how they got involved in the film and their experience, and, you know, talking about, I mean, there's so many interesting stories that I've heard. A lot of funny stories, a lot of, you know, some of them thought they would go on to do other things as far as acting, but, you know, those were some pretty big movies for that time. So it just a lot of great stories. We covered some of the locations that a lot are no longer around. They've just kind of disappeared. Well, I think a lot of people can relate to the story. You know, the greasers and the socias, you were, you know, part of a group. I know when I was in high school, I was part of a group of people, more like the greasers, but, you know, it was kind of the end of the hippie era, so it was, that was kind of the group I was involved in. This is a great town. It's not as big as Dallas, so I feel like, you know, it's kind of a homey feeling here, you know? Everybody knows everybody. Everybody's got a connection. And that's what I've learned doing this documentary, is that, you know, everybody just knows everybody, it seems like, or knows of them, you know? So that's what's interesting about this town. It's just a small, big city.
James's documentary really gives us so much to look forward to.
There is a lot of very interesting firsts that came out of The Outsiders. For example, director Francis Ford Coppola first shot the entire rehearsal phase of the movie using one of those newfangled video cameras, and he edited it all in his in-house studio on wheels, the Silverfish.
Smart thinking. It was that video footage that allowed Francis to know exactly what he wanted when he started shooting the movie.
We certainly hope you enjoyed our look back at The Outsiders, and maybe take some time to watch the movie again soon. And I'd better get out of these clothes before someone tries to pick a fight with me.
And I know just the place too, Black and Pink Dance Supplies.
A tutu? Really? Now you're really asking for someone to make fun of me.
You should be used to it by now. Well, stick around, we'll meet Christy Hopkins next when we return with more Explore Tulsa.
Frustrated with your computer's performance? Looking to upgrade or repair the one you have? Arcade Computers at 5649 South Mingo in Tulsa has the solution. Arcade Computers sells new computers, used computers, and provides network installation and support. Keep your system running at its top performance. We offer the highest trade-in values and below market prices on late model desktop computers, laptops, network equipment, workstations, and monitors. Stop in or call us. Our expert technical staff will be glad to assist you. The Royal Dragon at 51st and Memorial in the Fontana Shopping Center is celebrating their 35th anniversary, and you're invited. The Royal Dragon has been and still is Tulsa's tradition to meet family and friends for a wonderful meal. It's also home of the all-day buffet. A full menu is available if you prefer. When it comes to planning holiday events, weddings, receptions, birthdays, or an anniversary, the Royal Dragon has private rooms, or you can use the entire restaurant.
Hello, and welcome back for more Explore Tulsa.
You know, it's time to check in with our Lewis neighbors, and this time we stop in to meet the ladies behind Black and Pink Dance Supplies.
Christy Hopkins has been involved with dance all her life, and it only makes sense that she helps others get ready for their performances in a big way.
I went to Oklahoma City University and studied dance there, and studied dance management. I thought that I wanted to be a teacher, and I did teach for a little while after college, but realized that that was not my thing. I decided to open a dance store instead, and it's really been great because it allows me to, still be involved with my passion and, get to talk with teachers and work with the dancers to create their costumes and just fit everything from fit the little ones with tap shoes when they first come in when they're 3 years old, all the way up to work with a professional ballroom dancer. It's fun to get to still be involved with all that. There was a hole in Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow didn't have a dancewear store. So Broken Arrow is where we started. We had a little shop, very small, right across the street from Rama. And then we expanded to 81st and Garnett, and then just last March we opened our second store here. Probably 3 years ago, we bought a company that makes their own dancewear. Autumn is our designer, and she designs custom costumes for teams or individuals or anybody that wants something custom.
I danced when I was a little kid, and I was really into fashion, and I got my degree in apparel design and production and came back to dance. We started making cute fashion for dance class for our own store, and we had a rep that encouraged us to start selling that to other stores around the country.
That's when we decided to start that custom part of the business. We have our own line that we sell to 30 stores across America, and that's of gymnastics and dancewear, and that's called BP Design. We sell that here in our store, but we also sell it to other stores across the nation.
People order custom costumes because they need something really unique. They need to stand out. If you're competing, you don't want to look like everybody else. You don't want to look like anybody else. They need a different design. They come in and they have a vision of, what the dance needs to look like, but what you're wearing is extremely important too. And so sometimes they know exactly what they want, but sometimes I have to help them bring that to something we can put on paper and something we can make. The design process, sometimes it takes 20 minutes to design it, but depending on how busy we are, sometimes we're out 10 weeks. Sometimes we can get something out in 2 weeks, sometimes it's 10 weeks. So just depends on the time of year. I think that every season, for every different customer, I have favorites, but it's really hard to pick because it depends on what they're going for. So if it's just right for that dance, when these kids go and compete and people see their costumes, they ask them, where did you get that? That's really unique. And they tell them black and pink, and we're starting to get business from other states. It's a lot of fun to work just over email. It's definitely easier if they come and sit at my desk, but it's a neat challenge.
The craziest time of year for us is back to school, when all the kids, need their ballet shoes, tap shoes, point shoes, every single kind. That's August and September are really crazy around here. And then for recital season, that's a big season for us too, which is just coming up the end of the year. Their end of the year showcases, we make a lot of costumes and things like that. So that's when it's really busy for us. I think that's important for people to be able to shop locally. You don't want to go into a store where they only have a few things and then they don't have really what you want, so you have to go somewhere else. So that's what we've really tried to do, is carry every single dance thing possible so they don't have to go online and they can shop locally.
Christy and Autumn said that they could even make me look good for my next performance.
Wow, they must really be miracle workers then. If you want to get your dance team ready for your next big event, visit bpdancewear.com.
Oh, okay, maybe dancing's not in my future. If only there were a place that I could, figure it all out and figure out what talents I have while teaching me a few more.
Then you are just in luck, Stevie. Tulsa Works is a great program at Goodwill that is putting hundreds of Tulsans on the right track.
And we'll visit with them next when Explore Tulsa continues.
Since 1964, Guitar House of Tulsa is the player's choice. We provide excellent customer service and the best selection on guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, ukuleles, and amplifiers in Tulsa. Check out the latest products from PRS, Martin, Taylor, Spector, Charvel, Takamine, Alvarez, Mesa Boogie, Orange, and many more. Open Monday through Saturday. Ask about our string instrument repair, 0% interest financing, and private lessons with the best instructions in Tulsa. Guitar House of Tulsa will keep you strumming along.
Have you noticed your vision seeming a little narrowed and blurry?
Then you may be suffering from SDTV.
Let the LED experts at Video Revolution help you see what you've been missing.
Like the Samsung 1080p 50-inch LED for only $749.
Or this Sony 60-inch 1080p LED for only $14.99.
Video Revolution at 71st and Lewis can help you find the perfect HD.
And 3D prescription to custom fit your home entertainment needs. Sabrina and Keisha seem to be great people, doing so much to help so many people get job ready.
Plus, they really care, and it's easy to see that each get great joy from others' successes.
TulsaWORKS is basically that we help Tulsa to get working. We teach life skills, which gives them a basic information about how to look for a job. The way people look for jobs today is way different than the way I looked for a job back 28 years ago. And so we teach things like interviewing skills and budgeting and application, how to fill those things out and fill them out properly. The main real emphasis is on interviewing skills because that's the scary part of looking for a job.
Yeah, I see a lot of dim lights, and I say dim just because people who are just kind of really down on themselves, there's still a light in them. They still really want to, you know, go forth and do more, but they just need someone to kind of just open the shade a little bit and let their light shine a little bit brighter. That's the main thing that I see a lot of, is just people who are just down on their luck and they just need someone to just help them with a thing or two, and then they're on their way.
It was all about selling myself. They were able to tell me the ins and outs of what employers are seeking, what they're looking for, how to really expand on your skills and your experiences in a positive way, ultimately leading to a job. So I was able to take a step back and really look over what I'm capable of doing, what I have, and using that in a positive way in order to get employment.
In our TulsaWORKS team is what we call it. There's a culture. There's a culture of wanting to help people. We have fun doing it. I think that transcends to the client that we help. I think the also thing that I've heard more than anything is that I can't believe how much you want to be in our lives. I can't believe how much you care for us. I think when you live in a shelter, or maybe you graduated from college, sometimes you're just a number. That's not so here. Each of our clients can reach out and touch the case manager by cell phone, by coming by and just say, I need your help. And I think that's what makes us different. I think that cuts us above the rest, is the fact that we can reach out and touch a client and be there for them. And not only for them, but for the family that they represent.
Oh man, there's so many, but there's one that kind of really peeks out in my mind right now. I don't want to say his name, but he was a gentleman who lived in the shelter, and he came to us at a time when Tulsa had that really, really bad ice storm. And what he did was he used to come here every day, like on a bicycle. I'm not talking about like a motorbike, I'm talking like an automatic bicycle. And he received his training, and he got private security cleat certification. He went on and got his arm certification, and then he got a job. He got not only a truck, but a motorcycle bike, so he didn't have to drive that automatic bike anymore, and he got his own apartment. But it was really great to just see him through that whole process of going through the shelter, you know, getting his training, and now he's on and off and doing his own thing.
First of all, you have to be someone who wants to have a job. If you don't want to have a job, this is the worst place to go to. That's the main thing. You have to be 18 years of age and up, and also be willing to go through drug testing, because we want you to be drug-free to come through the program, and you want to be a good candidate for the training program. So that's simply it. Get your job, and we have a new program called Beyond Jobs. Beyond getting a job, what else does a person need? We follow up clients. Each person is given a case manager, and that case manager helps and supports that person. They've now found a job, but sometimes barriers still happen even after a job is found. So that person is there to offer support financially, career-wise, and do whatever we can to help your person just make it in society. Last year we placed over 1,000 people in employment, and when I got here before it was maybe 16 people. So I mean we've grown quite a bit, but TulsaWORKS alone has placed over 415, and with our Job Connection part of what we do, that placed over 500. So together it was over 1,000 people were placed in employment last year, and we're going to top that and do better even this year.
Sabrina and Keisha Keisha seem to be great people, doing so much to help so many people get job ready.
Plus, they really care, and it's easy to see that each get great joy from others' successes.
If you want to be a part of the Tulsa Works program, visit goodwilltulsa.org.
Or just stop by their offices at 2800 Southwest Boulevard. Tell them Stevie sent you. They'll give you the special treatment.
Say that and you just might get kicked out. So stick around, there's more Explore Tulsa just ahead.
Envision Media Group has teamed up with Video Revolution, Tulsa's leader in electronic sales, service, installation, and repair, to offer the latest advances in video production technology to the Tulsa area. From multi-camera HD production to live web streaming and TV studio production, Envision Media Group provides production services to television stations, sports organizations, corporations, and agencies. Envision Media Group's team of professionals has over 50 years of combined broadcast television experience, and thanks to Video Revolution, we now have all the latest toys and capabilities at our fingertips to produce your next project on time and on budget. Envision Media Group and Video Revolution are a powerful team and ready to tackle any video project needs you might have. For more information, visit us online at envisionmediagroup.com. Envision the possibilities. Looking for a new home entertainment experience? Well, hi, and welcome to Video Revolution, Tulsa's best in cutting-edge electronics. Professional, highly trained home entertainment experts. Video Revolution's been serving Tulsans for over 25 years with name brands like Sony, Klipsch, Mitsubishi, Samsung, and so many more. Great selection, price match guarantee, custom installation, expert assistance equals home entertainment success. See for yourself. The Video Revolution showroom features the largest selection of flat panel TVs in all of Oklahoma. Plus the latest in 3D entertainment. Highly trained home entertainment experts on hand. Professional delivery, installation, and service after the sale. And the best selection of name brands. Visit us online at videorevolution.com and find out more about everything we have to offer. Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Be sure and stop in next week when we get some snoozing tips from Dr. Z's Sleep Center.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show. But special thanks to all the extras that joined us from The Outsiders. We really loved hearing all your stories.
Thanks to James Clark. We're looking forward to the completion of your documentary, The Outsiders, The Tulsa Connection. And thanks to Christy Hopkins of Black and Pink Dance Supplies. I'll be in to pick up my tutu in a week or so.
Plus, thanks to Sabrina and Keisha for all the great work you're doing at Goodwill with Tulsa Works.
Hey, remember, if you missed any of the show, you can always catch us at ExploreTulsaChannel.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook. Share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about. Plus, remember, Explore Tulsa is always brought to you by Video Revolution.
Please stop by and say hello to Ron and all the guys for your home entertainment needs. And we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.